A very good morning to all. In the previous class, we discussed about Rowlatt Act and non-cooperation movement. In this class, we will be discussing about Jallianwalla Bagh massacre in Amritsar and the spread of armed revolution by Indians. So you all remember in the previous class, we discussed about Rowlatt Act, which was passed by the Britishers in the year 1919. And according to this act, the Britishers had immense power, so they were free to arrest any Indians whom they found protesting against them. So after passage of this act, the Britishers, they arrested many Indian leaders, and one such arrest took place in Amritsar, that is in the states of Punjab, where two local leaders were arrested by the Britishers who were protesting against the Rowlatt Act. At that time, General Reginald Dyer was the commander of British Army in Amritsar, and he had given orders to the people of Amritsar that no one should be found organizing a public meeting or processions in Amritsar. But on 13th April 1919, Colonel Dyer, he received a news of a protest meeting being organized at Jallianwalla Bagh. And here there were large number of men, women, children who had gathered peacefully, that means without arms, to show their unhappiness against the arrest of the two local leaders. After hearing this news, General Dyer, he led his troop, that means his army, and marched into that Bagh. And the name of the Bagh is Jallianwalla Bagh. Bagh is a Hindi word that means garden, and he marched with lots of weapons. And this Bagh had only one exit, that means only one main door through which people can move in and move out. And he ordered his men to close that only exit of the Bagh. And there were about 20,000 unarmed people who gathered here. Some of them gathered here to show their protest against the Rowlatt Act, and some of them had gathered here to celebrate Baisakhi festival. Baisakhi festival is one of the harvest festival of Punjab. So here there were about 20,000 unarmed people. After closing that main door, General Dyer, he ordered for an open fire on the unarmed people, and with no way to escape, people ran here and there to save their life. Some of them even jumped into wells to save their life. In this incident, around 1,000 were dead and 1,500 were injured. And Indians all across the country were shocked after hearing this incident. And here, Rabindranath Tagore, he was a famous Bengali poet, composer, philosopher and writer. He, after hearing this incident, he gave up his knighthood, which was given by the Britishers. So knighthood is an honor that is given by the British king or queen that allows a person to use a title that is Sir before his name, like Sir Rabindranath Tagore. So after hearing this incident, he gave up his knighthood as a mark of protest. Here you can see the Jallianwalla Bagh Memorial, and memorial is a statue or a structure or a building that reminds us about a person or an event. And here the word massacre means killing of large number of people in a cruel way. So this was about the Jallianwalla Bagh incident that took place in Amritsar. Now let's discuss about the spread of armed revolution by Indians. So we know that till now Mahatma Gandhi was leading the India's freedom movement based on the principles of Satyagraha. So Satyagraha was a method of protest based on truth and non-violence, and no physical force or weapons were used in these movements. But during non-cooperation movement, some of the Indian protesters, they became violent and they put a police station in fire at Chauri Chara in Uttar Pradesh state, in which 22 policemen died. So As it was against the principles of Satyagraha, Mahatma Gandhi took the responsibility of this violent act and he called off non-cooperation movement. When the non-cooperation movement was called off by Mahatma Gandhi, many Indian leaders and common people, they felt that now they won't get complete independence from the Britishers, and they also felt the need of including arms or weapons to fight against the Britishers. So, after Mahatma Gandhi called off the non-cooperation movement, some of the freedom fighters like Chandrasekhar Azad, Bhagat Singh, Jatin Das, Rajguru, B.K. Dutt, they took up arms, that means weapons, to fight against the Britishers. So, 1922 onwards, there was spread of armed revolutionaries to gain complete independence. And many of these revolutionaries, they were caught by the Britishers and they were put to death because they took arms against the Britishers. Now here you can see the famous National Martyrs Memorial where Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev and Rajguru were buried on 23rd March 1931 on the banks of Satluj River. So this was about the Jallianwalla Bagh incident that took place in Amritsar on 13th April 1919 and the spread of armed revolution by Indians, that is 1922 onwards. That's all for today. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.